Hey everyone, it's Herc Magnus here, and in this video I'm going to be doing a one-on-one call with Full Club member Kristen Fairchild, who has recently just closed a free trial renter on a really high value site that she has. And I didn't get the full recording. I started recording a little late, but the full question that I asked her when she starts answering, when we switch over to the video, is I asked her how many people she had contacted. So she started initially contacting people to rent out her, or to take a free trial of her Rank and Rent property on Facebook, and she had sent out I think like 14 or so messages on Facebook, and then decided she wanted to go to phone calls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to the interview where I started recording, and you can listen to Kristen talk about her free trial that she landed.
I don't know. I think it was about 18 Facebook messages. Didn't get, I mean, a lot of them haven't even looked at it. I think I had 3 that were just like, no thanks. But I know I'm like dealing with probably the office person with that. So, which is the same with calling, but I was like, screw it. I'm just going to get these people on the phone and just talk to them so that they can see this isn't like a spammy thing. You know, I'm a real person. I just feel like I explain myself better than through messaging. So I made four calls, and the 4th one was a go for it. It really wasn't that bad. One of them said that they're just too booked right now. The other one needed to talk to the and the last one said they were the office manager, so they could make that call. So gonna start forwarding these to him for about a week and then talk to them after that. And they are open on Saturdays. So when I called, I was like, you know, I specifically called you guys because you're open on Saturdays. I have calls coming in during the weeks. I have calls coming in on Saturdays too. There's like no dinner in your city that are open on Saturdays. So I'm trying to send that business to someone. And he was like, yeah, so we're gonna try it.
So tell me a little bit about your script. Like your calling script.
Yeah, so I actually typed it. I just typed it on a Word document below the script that you had. I used some of that. Basically, I just called, you know, they answered, and I just said, hey, I'm Kristen Fairchild. I was just calling to see if you guys are accepting, you know, these types of customers right now. And they said, yeah, we are. Some of them asked me if I'm needing that service or whatever, and I was just like, you know, okay, great. I was like, here's my situation. I was like, I'm getting a lot of phone calls for this particular service in your city, and I'm looking for a company in your city that I can possibly forward these calls to. I said, because I don't personally offer this service. I do SEO marketing. So basically I have a online property that's on the first page of Google, and so that's where these phone calls are coming from. And that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much what I said, and then asked, you know, do you know if this is something that your office might be interested in? And then from there, I feel like I said a little bit more. I'd have to pull up my script to see. I switched it up a couple of times. Sometimes I said a little more. Sometimes I said a little less, just to see what they were reacting to. The last call, I think I just kind of followed it up with, you know, I specifically called you guys because you're open on Saturdays, and it just went from there.
And how do they react to you saying that? Like when you're like, I'm an SEO and I have leads. And
well, the first person I think hung up on me. They were like, they said, I can't make that call. I have to transfer you to my office manager, which I was on hold for a few, and then it dropped. So I was like, they probably just think it's like, they told them I'm a marketer, and so they just didn't take it. The other ones, none of them, I was afraid they would kind of get into asking questions about like, well, what's on Google, yada, yada. No one asked me anything about it. They didn't really question me about that or act like they thought that was weird or anything. So once I told them that I was looking to send it to, I think I did follow it up and say, you know, I'm not looking to charge anything. Like, this is completely free of charge, no commitment. I'm just trying to forward these to an office, let them get some, you know, try it for a week, get some business in their doors, and, you know, then have a discussion after that and see if it was valuable and if you might want to continue taking them.
Yeah.
And so that was when they were like, yay or nay, basically.
Yeah. I think like letting them know up front that you're not looking for money. You're looking to like help them first, and that's why there's a free trial. And then because their guard, like I say, is always going to be up, right? Like they start hearing marketing, SEO, they're like, oh God, like, but then you say, like the fact that you have the result already there for them to take advantage of, and the fact that you're saying, look, there's no risk here to you. I just want to help you for free right now on a trial, and we'll talk about it later. They know you're after a sale. But the fact that you're able to say, I'm going to provide you with results right now for free to reduce your risk. Now they're like, okay.
That's the only reason I think that they even like considered it. If they thought that they were going to have to pay for something then, I did definitely say that before I kind of cut it off and let them speak. I definitely mentioned that each time, that it was a completely no cost, no commitment thing. I'm just trying to let somebody, start taking these calls and then talk again at the end of probably about a week. So that is one of the things that I stated in my script each time, because I knew if I didn't say that, they were just gonna hang up.
Even saying that to some people, I guess some people are always asking in the back of their mind, like, why? Like, why is this free? Why? You know what I mean? Like, and ultimately, like, they know that you're trying to get to a sale, but they're like, why? Just why? Like, they want to have those questions answered. And then it's okay to tell them, like, if it ever comes up where there's friction, where they're, questioning why you're doing this for free or whatever. You can even just send them, look, like, this is just a completely new model that I'm offering. It's kind of like how people at Costco hand out samples, to get people to buy stuff. They try it first, and if they like it, then they're more aptitude or inclined to buy it. So, I mean, if you ever get that sort of thing, that you can just easily say that this is just the model that we use. Our clients like it because there's no risk to them. It's the Costco model, right? And it really works.
Exactly.
So
I had that down below. I kind of had my initial script, and then if they got into asking questions, some of those other things that you had touched on, like if they said yes, and then I got them on a call. So I was trying to get enough information in that little spiel that I would get a good reaction, but without just like super long-winded talking too much. Since I was just completely cold calling them.
So you started with Facebook outreach to 18, and then why did you go to calls?
So I did that yesterday. I just wasn't getting any reaction. Most of them hadn't even, like, I could see that they hadn't even read the message that I sent, which I think 3 people out of that messaged me back and just said no thanks. I didn't get any other reaction outside of that. Most of them hadn't even looked at it. So I just thought, you know what, I was going to start emailing today, and then I thought it's just going to be quicker if I just get on the phone. So
and then did anyone other than the person that said they'll transfer you and then hung up on you, did anybody like yell at you or make you feel like shitty or,
Actually, no. I mean, I only talked to 4 people, so I knew that they were going to answer friendly at least because it's an office. So I knew they would be really friendly. So I just tried to match that friendliness. It was just like, hey, my name. But luckily, no, because I was kind of bracing myself just in case they just like hung up the phone or just, weren't having it, weren't wanting to hear it because I was a marketer. But everyone was actually really nice. They all let me get through my spiel, like without stopping me or anything like that. So they let me say all of that. And they were all nice at the end. I mean, the first girl, like I said, I think once it got to her manager, they just hung up. But the other one, I mean, she talked to me for a second. She's like, we can't get people in saying, we can't do walk-ins or that sort of thing. And then we just started kind of talking about their schedule, and she just said that they would have to book these people way out, like, and which wouldn't really work.
Which is really,
Well,
so
she said they've been closed since COVID, so they're super booked, is what she said.
Right. So, I mean, that's good because, like, a lot of people are afraid to call because they think that people are going to be angry and they're going to be rude and make you feel like shit, but they're not. Like,
none of them were. I mean, they all talked to me or gave me a viable reason. I mean, I knew I was going to be talking with people who couldn't for the most part, couldn't make that call anyways, until the last guy, he said he was a manager. So, but no one, none of them really drilled me with any questions. They were all pretty nice about it.
So I mean, if nobody hit you with any questions, it's obvious to me, like your script answered most of their questions to begin with, or they got enough information to make a decision, whether it be a yes or a no, because you had no until you got to your fourth call, and then you had a yes. Mm-hmm. But that yes, how deep did they go into questions and stuff like that?
Thankfully not a lot. I'll be honest, he had a really thick foreign accent, so I had a little bit of trouble understanding him at first, but then I got to where I could understand him better. So it took me he heard my spiel, and then he was like, can you hold on for a second? And I could hear him talking to someone else in the back. I couldn't hear what he's saying, but he was talking to someone else. Then he came back on. He was like, can you hold on for one more second? And then he got off. And I mean, this was directly after me giving my spiel. And then he got back on the phone, and he was like, yeah, we'll take it. And so I was trying to, at that point, understand who I was talking to. Because at first I just couldn't understand him. And then I got that I asked if he was a dentist. He said, no, he's the manager. He gave me his name and spelled it, so I wrote it down. But he really didn't ask any questions. His only question was about the scheduling. He was like, we may be able to get people in same day. We might not. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I just need somebody to at least answer these calls, and then they can, at least get an appointment set up with these people. I think that's okay. He said they might be able to do same day, but not all the time. So that was really his only question, was if that was okay. And then other than that, I just kind of gave him a rundown on how it works, what the options are. I got his email address, the phone number to send it to, all of that stuff. So then we agreed that I would send an email just kind of giving an overview of this again with my contact information, all of that, just for them to have. And then that I would go ahead and get this set up, and that we would do this, for a week, and then I'd get back with them at the end of a week. But he really didn't have any questions for me. I had already explained what kind of phone calls they were probably going to be, where they were coming from and stuff like that. So, I mean, they had a GMB. That their GMB is what I called. So I think he understood. They had a call tracking number on that already. So he already kind of, I think, gets the gist of it. So
yeah. Okay. So he's just like additional leads.
Right. Yeah. And their GMB was like way back in the GMB. So it wasn't even close. I actually searched, I think I was searching offices that are open on weekends, and I found theirs. But yeah, I think he already kind of understood that part.
Okay. And then, so you kind of combined almost like step one and step two, where did you get the phone number that they want the calls forwarded to you? I'm assuming you did.
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, because I called a tracking number. He had to give me their actual phone number.
Right. So you kind of combined step one and two, but it's okay because like you somehow found out that, he is the person that can make these decisions, whether they want to continue to receive these calls. You probably didn't talk directly about it, but they understand that it's not free forever. So they're kind of preconditioned.
No, I did touch on that. Yeah. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but I did touch on the fact that, this is a trial. I want to send them to them for about a week, get some business in, and then we'll talk again at the end of a week and see if it's something that they would want to partner up with us and continue taking. So he understands. I kind of went through that this is free right now, but
so he's preconditioned. And it's great because the qualifying questions that you kind of put to him, like saying, I want you to answer the phone. These are emergency leads, that are going to be a 24/7 situation. So you're showing him that he's got a job to do too. You know what I mean?
Well, I asked if they had a voicemail. Yeah, I asked him, I said, do you have, a voicemail set up in your office? So if they call after hours, they can leave you a voicemail and you can call them back the next day. And he said that they did. So, yeah, I tried to cover those kind of things.
Okay. And he understands, well, you said he already has a GMB with call tracking. So he understands that like you'll be recording the calls. He'll be notified. You'll be able to listen. He'll be able to listen. So there's 100%
Yeah, his was
transparency.
actually like that when I called. They had the same, like, this call is recorded for training purposes and stuff like that. So the one that they have now is set up like that too.
Okay, awesome. I had one more thing, but it looks like that's pretty good. Congrats. That's pretty awesome either way.
It may have been a little bit scattered how I went about doing it, but I was just going for it.
I think it always will be. Like we define like the route and the steps that you got to take with people, but it never accounts for people are going to say different things back to you, right? So that you kind of have to be on the ball with reacting to what they say. So it's always going to have a little bit of scattered to it, but as long as you know what your goals are and what the information they need and what you want, like you'll be able to come, you know, like if you fall off that line, you'll be able to get back to it with them in a really controlled manner. So like you did a really great job with him. So that's really wicked. And I can't wait to hear the update after the week.
I hope it works out.
Yeah. Is the call volume still going well?
Yes, it's still been good. It's number 2 in the 3-pack right now, but it's still, the thing is, it's still getting all of those, like the other, well, I said the niche, but whatever, the other that are in the 3-pack. I mean, it doesn't matter to me too much, but the other that are there, they're closed on weekends, so their office hours are literally just 8 to 5. Where I'm getting, this office might actually be open a little bit later than 5 too. So I know any of those calls that come in right before office opens, which I get several of those sometimes and stuff like that, that they'll catch those because they're the ones that, you know, people are pushing to call on that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So I'm just going to help you now set up call tracking. Did you tell him, you know, I'm going to go set the system up, get everything, you know, set up to forward the calls to you, and then I'll get back with you to explain how to identify the leads. Even though he already knows this, you're still going to go through this with him because you want to show him that you're being professional and serious.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him to give me a couple of hours to get that done and get that email over to him. So I would call him back. I just want to make sure that he sees the email, that it doesn't go to his spam folder or anything like that, and then just make sure we're clear on everything.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to end the video here, and then me and you are going to go and set up your notifications. Cool. But congratulations. Kristen got a free trial pretty much, on the first 2 days that you started prospecting it. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Great job. All right, cool. I'm going to stop this recording.
Okay.